sound guy might even be the sound guy from the venue that you got the gig at, right? Which means that when you get there, you're not really sure what the equipment is about. These guys weren't sure what the equipment was about. If you were here earlier, you would have watched Mike, the bass player, is that his name?
Yeah.
I caught that. You would have watched my man with the humble pie shirt going absolutely berserk back here trying to get his bass running. Right now, if the gig was supposed to start at 7:30 and they got here at 7 o'clock, they would have never got that gig started on time. So that's another thing, right? Don't show up 5 minutes before gig time.
3 hours.
There you go. You're
6
looking-
hours.
This is it.
3 hours.
The sound guys, show up the day before.
Sound guy said the day before.
Show up early. Do not make it an emergency. We had an emergency situation before, but luckily enough, this is open mic. If this was a real gig, Mikey would be playing without his pedal board tonight because he would have never had enough time to get it ready to start. So get there early. So they're here right now. We got the sound guy. They're gonna go through a sound check, all right? And what I would love JD to just spend 2 minutes talking about tone. He uses a pedal board. A lot of kids come up here with pedal boards, and JD has to come up and set it up for him. And so JD, would you be willing to just say 2 minutes on a pedal board?
Yeah.
All right, good. You guys, you can't get JD to tell you what he wants for lunch for crying out loud, but he's gonna talk to you tonight.
Okay. All right. Usually the thing I see most difficulty with most of the younger guys is try to remember that the simpler you can keep things, if there's problems. What's going on there, Bobby?
You're good.
Check the gate on that.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah. Bob, there's a gate on that APC, on that mic. Make sure that's open. That's probably what it is. Got it? Okay. The simpler you keep things, if something goes wrong, the easier it is to fix. Okay, now if you got your rig set up, just remember if you're switching from clean to dirty, you got to balance those signals. That's another thing I see a lot. So their clean is way too loud and the distortion is way too soft or vice versa. So it's a balancing act between those two. Take the time before you start to work that out instead of while you're playing. It makes it a hell of a lot easier on the sound guy. And also on your own ears. You can get extreme fatigue from too much volume. Believe me, I've done this way too many times. And I was very surprised I still have halfway decent hearing. But time before the gig is the time to do that, not while you're up here trying to get stuff dialed in. So for what it's worth, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, JD.
Yay!
Oh, and by the way, I want to thank these guys. They took out their, took out a little time to pull all this together pretty quick. We're all, each of us, in at least 1 or 2 other bands. So trying to get a rehearsal together because of the schedules was a little tricky. We got it Tuesday. Here we are tonight. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be loud.
No, it won't.
Get ready.